Okay, so first of all we need to start the project by opening the need to start the project by opening the file that we want to cut around. So this is my character, Jacqueline Josser. And first of all I'm going to cut around here. But basically you need to look at the picture. As you can see, part of her arm is missing. So it's going to be a bit more difficult to cut around that. But make sure you've got a picture that matches up with that, that can blend together. And this picture of Joey Essex looks good because we can see Sam's arm in the background, which we can use for her arm, as we can't find her hand. So first of all, we get the magnetic lasso tool. We've used this tool a couple of times, and we basically go around the outside of the body. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect, by all means, because we can always erase bits that we don't want later. If you do mess up like I've done here, make sure it becomes a complete circle, double click and then click off once more to kind of get rid of it, to start again like I have done. Okay, it takes a few times to learn how to do that successfully because it does go a bit crazy, but you double click and then click on again to start. Okay, so a real rough copy around copying your character. Don't worry again if it's not perfect, just make sure you've got most of the body in and we can erase other bits. Now to end that, you have to click the last square so that it matches up, and then we press Command C or Apple C to copy it, Command V or Apple V to paste it. Okay, so now we're going to select the eraser tool in order to rub out excess picture on the picture that we've copied. So as you can see here, there's a picture of a man, so we're going to get rid of that. So we can start erasing it, but you can change the size of the rubber in the top left hand corner by just adjusting it, and then you can begin to erase any part of it. So just to recap, we're changing the size of the rubber in the top left hand side, and you can also change the hardness or how soft the rubber is as well. So I'm just going to rub out her inner leg, but if we make a mistake like this, if we go to the history tool, which is here, we can go back all the steps that we can see, all the steps that we've taken throughout our whole piece of work, but we can also go back a step by clicking on the last option, and it's a really quick way of just pressing edit undo, especially if you've made a couple of mistakes. So I've skipped ahead and I've brought in my new character. As you can see, he's coming quite small, so if I press Command T or Apple T, I can transform the shape by making it bigger. As you can see, my person's the wrong way around. I need to have him flipped around 180 degrees. So if I go to Edit, Transform, and then Flip Horizontally, or Flip Horizontal as it's called here, he will completely change the way that he looks. So I'm just going to demonstrate the eraser tool again. Using the magnifying glass to zoom in will help you make a better job of erasing. When you're erasing, just take your time over this, okay? There's no rush. It's better to just do it slowly but surely to make sure your erasing of the picture is accurate rather than rushing through it and making it look a bit dodge. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm carefully erasing what I've got on there. Let's recap the smudge tool. If we go under the blur tool and select smudge, we can slowly but surely start to paint the picture in, so it smudges part of the picture, so it blends in. You can change the size like you can in the eraser tool on the top left, and you can change the hardness. Hiding layers, if you click on the layer and then you click on the eye symbol, it will hide the layer. This tool is really helpful if you've got so many layers going on and you want to be able to see what you're working on. Now time for adjusting the colour of the picture. First of all, we're going to use the brightness and contrast tool, which basically adjusts the amount of brightness in the picture and how contrasted it is in terms of the light. So we go to image, adjustments, brightness and contrast, where you can adjust the colour. So here I'm just lowering the brightness and bringing up the contrast, so it gives it quite a dark appearance in the picture, because the picture that we've got is quite contrasted. Colour balance, which is image adjustments colour balance, allows you to adjust the colour in each in the picture that you're adjusting. So with this, we would look at the shadows, midtones and the highlights and adjust what colours we wanted to see. So in the background, we've kind of got reds and yellows standing out. So in each of the shadows, the midtones and the highlights of the Joe picture, we would be putting more red and yellow into it by adjusting the toggles, as you can see there. So now he's appearing to be more red looking with sort of a yellow edge, and now he blends more into the background colour. Curves, which is image adjustment curves, adjusts the amount of dark and light areas in the picture. So if you toggle around with this line, which looks like a graph, you can change how dark areas of the picture look. That's another way of brightness and contrast, really. Exposure, which is image adjustment exposure, plays around with the amount of light that is exposed in the picture. Thinking about it in photography terms, it's the amount of flash that's on to make a picture be adjusted. So here we can make Jacqueline blend more in the background by exposing the amount of light in the picture.